Welcome to the screening of Starci na chmelu or The Hop Pickers, a Czech classical musical film which was released exactly 60 years ago. The film was very much influenced by the West Side Story because there was a huge success, global success, and it also had an impact on the production of this film. However, the writing of the story, it started before the release of the West Side Story. It was originally intended for theater, but there were not enough experienced musical actors, performers, so they rather made a big talent competition for the cast of the Hop Pickers, and they got some 1,200 participants in the talent competition, and they finally selected those 25 successful performers for the movie and a few students from the Prague Conservatoire. Before the Hop Pickers, there were only a few films made in Czechoslovakia which were kind of including some musical numbers or songs, but this is the first film which really has the characteristics of this specific genre, which was obviously in the 1950s considered an imperialist, dangerous threat to the communist society. So it was kind of difficult to make such a genre film back then. For the future screenings, you've selected films like Kouř or The Smoke, also The Rebels, Rebelové, and Šakalí léta, Big Beat, films which are basically not older than, 35 years maybe. The film of Tomáš Vorel, The Smoke, was made right after the Velvet Revolution. And that was a kind of unlucky coincidence for the film because Tomáš Vorel was working on the project before 1989 or in 1989, but there was the story was too critical, too ironic or sarcastic for the official production at that time, so it was postponed. And then the history was faster than the production. So he got the green light for the production only in 1990. So the film was released at the time when the whole society was kind of overwhelmed by the change in the public life and in the politics and everything. So the film was kind of not so successful at the beginning, but nowadays we can say that Tomáš Vorel's Smoke is probably among the first or the top 5 films from that period which are still circulating in cinemas in the Czech Republic, and as we can see also on the rooftop of the Bohemian National Hall. The films like Šakalí léta by Jan Hřebejk or Rebelové, The Rebels by Filip Renč are the examples of how musical as a genre is a dream or ambition of many directors. It's a big temptation to make a good, successful musical. And Jan Hřebejk himself, he said that it was his dream to make such a film. Again, he's kind of has based the story on the conflict between an individualistic personality and the society or the oppressive system, unlike Filip Renč, who explored the rather a situation of this love triangle or multi-angle, and he situated the story in the hot summer of 1968. So it's also the Soviet invasion involved and the topic of exile and so on. I'm very happy that you guys are going to start with the Hop Pickers, because I think that for Czech cinema it's a very inspiring story based on a rather serious topic of the conflict between individualism and conformism, and also the cultural game in the film is, I think, telling a lot about the Czech sense for humor and kind of absurdity, which I hope you can enjoy. So have a good screening.